Mm. Mm. Hi guys, how's it going?
Hi.
How are we all?
All right. How are you?
See, everybody's looking nice and cozy there. We all got our house coats on. It is bloody Baltic.
What is that?
Right, guys, I'll give it another wee minute to see if anyone else is jumping on, and then we'll get into it. Theme of tonight is all about making the most of December, and not feeling like you need to totally write it off just because Christmas is coming up and stuff like that. So some advice on how to get through it and stay on track and things like that. Will probably be about half an hour or so, and it'll be recorded anyway for the other guys. So what I'll do is, where's my thing now? I'll share my screen and make sure that it's working. You know, I'm like, where is it? Can't even find it now. Good start. Feet. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Share screen. Right, that should be us. Can I just see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you still see it when I make it bigger?
Like cut off.
Is it cut off?
Yeah, just at one side, the left-hand side.
So weird. I don't know why it does that. Oh, shit, over in. It's not been sharing properly recently for some reason. Let me try again. So can you see it there now?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
What I'll do is, then if I go full screen, and then it's
Perfect, yeah.
still working.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes. I look at this. So Christmassy. Super Christmassy. Went for it. Changed up the wee logo and everything. So this is us. So Leslie's not on the now, but we shout out to Leslie. She was at 50 on Tuesday, yesterday, so she might still actually be enjoying herself and having a nice time. So happy birthday to her if she's watching this back. She even came in for a PT session yesterday, nice and early. I thought she would have wanted to lie in as well, but no, she came in, got it done, started her day off well. So a lot of the chat we're going to be doing is comparing, first of all, to last Christmas. So if you think of like Christmases in the past, we're really encouraged to just go for it, enjoy ourselves and all the rest of it, which is absolutely fine. I think that this is the time of year that you should be relaxing a little bit and all the rest of it, catch up with friends and family and being really sociable, especially because we've not had much going on the past couple of Christmases. Even last year was quite, a bit drab compared to what we'd normally have been doing. So this year we're all like free to do our usual normal thing, which is class. And I think maybe some people either struggle with being overwhelmed with getting back into it and having so much stuff to do and feeling like you need to do everything. Especially if you have goals, if you are still trying to stay on track with a particular goal and you feel like you don't want to be set back. So even if you're maybe on maintenance calories or something, we've maybe like loosened the reins a little bit for you, you might still find that you're like, oh, I don't actually want to go and overdo it all or kind of lose all my progress. So if you guys want to jump into the wee chat box there and just fire out some thoughts, like if you think back to how you were last Christmas, did you get celebrating Christmas? Were you with friends and family? Was the whole month of December a write-off? Did you go for it? Were you mindful about what were you doing? If you just fire in kind of how it went for you last year, excuse me, sorry, and just have a wee think about that. So if you type some stuff up into the chat box about how last Christmas went, because we say Christmas, but really it's like the full month of December, isn't it? As soon as Halloween's over, the shops are full of chocolates and all that kind of thing. So it is quite hard to stay on track. That's not coming up for me, one sec. Oh. Can you please take away?
I'm almost done.
Sorry. Cool. So we've got Sophie was working last year. She probably better than most. But this year you're off, so happy days, which is really, really good. And you can just enjoy your Christmas. Angela was surrounded by chocolate and Megan was working and you're working home to stay on track. Yeah. So I think if you are working, you do kind of like on the day, I suppose, you've got like you're kind of limited with what you can actually have, can't you? I suppose some people in work, like me and Sophie were chatting about today, people just bring all sorts into work, don't they? Like all the sweeties are just there in like the staff room, and it can be quite hard to try and avoid them, especially if everyone else is getting stuck in. You might feel a bit like, oh, like a bit left out, or I feel like everyone's maybe judging you a wee bit for not having anything. Whereas at the end of the day, like we're all adults and we can eat whatever we want or not eat whatever we want, and if we choose not to, but you do have a wee bit of FOMO sometimes and it can be tempting, especially if you are trying to be, on track with a certain goal. It can be tempting to just get stuck in. But even like I think for me personally, the actual day of Christmas or Christmas Eve, Boxing Day, like the days around Christmas as well included, like I think they should just be enjoyed, like lots of good food and all the rest of it. But for some people, it can feel like the full month of December is just a total write-off. Like as soon as Halloween's over with, and even going into November when all the sweets start coming out the shops, and it can be really hard to avoid them. And when you've got lots of things, like it's not even just Christmas Day now, it's the build-up. So we maybe spend time with friends and family, or we've got work nights out. You might have like a night out with other like clubs or stuff that you go to. Obviously, us guys, we're not having a Christmas one. We're going to do ours in January. But like my gym that I go to, it's actually their night out is the same night as my work night out. But that would be like two separate nights out. And then there's people that have got like things with their kids. They've got nights out with friends. They've got like kids parties and stuff, and it's just like food everywhere, food and drink. And then it's the day after, it's the hangovers. So it can be quite a lot. By the time you actually get through December, it's not just Christmas Day, isn't it? It's actually everything coming up to Christmas Day, which is where I think, to a certain extent, you can do some damage control, because it's all well and good being like, oh, it's Christmas, like we'll just go for it but it's a month. Christmas is a day, and then you've got the days around it. Like in reality, there is no need to absolutely go for it and treat every day in December like Christmas Day. If you think, what, Christmas Day and whatever else I've got going on, pick your battles in terms of your nights out and stuff. For me, like I know on Saturday when I'm out, I'm going to just enjoy myself. We're going out for dinner, we're going out for drinks. Sunday will probably be spent on the sofa, hungover, because I'm such a lightweight, and having like munchies and stuff. I've not been sick, hopefully. But I think like for that, I'm absolutely happy to go with that. But I did pick my battle, and I thought I made an effort to be like, I'm not going to do every single weekend in December going out and going mental. Like I had a leaving night for one of my friends and I kind of had a few drinks, but I just stayed fairly sensible, partly because I wasn't well too, but I just thought I don't want to absolutely write off today and then spend all day suffering the next day. And then it just snowballs and then you go, fuck it. And then before you know it, you've just absolutely written off December. So I think it's okay to pick and choose your battles and be like, do you know what, this is a night out that actually I really want to go for and just let go and enjoy it. And then there's other things and you're like, do you know what, I can still take part and enjoy it, but I don't need to absolutely go off the rails. So if you think about how you were this time last year and compare it to this year, do you feel like you're doing better? You know, have a wee think about that. Do you feel like you're maybe a bit more on track? You feel like you're not under so much pressure? Anything like that? Because the next one, let me share the screen with you if I can. Sorry, guys. Please excuse my coughing. Oh, that's the wrong one. That was me watching a YouTube video. That's the one. So if I open this up, so we thought back to last year, and then have you got any concerns in particular this year? So is there anything that you think might hold you back? If you have decided that you want to stay on track as much as possible, or whatever the goals are that we've talked about, for some people have brought calories up, for some people you might be staying in a deficit, or whatever your dietary requirements are, whatever your training requirements are you able to stay on track? So if you jump into the comments and just fire in anything that you might be concerned about that might derail you, whether it's all the social events coming up, might be work commitments, because I know that for some people they start winding down this time of year, but for a lot of people work actually gets more hectic. You're trying to meet deadlines and stuff like that and get things kind of rounded off before they finish up for Christmas time. So for some people it can be a bit more relaxing, for some people it can be a lot more stressful. It might be, you know, all the sweets and stuff everywhere, all the distractions. It might be, let's say, family commitments. So I know that some of my clients have got young kids in school, they've got all sorts going on, they've got like Christmas concerts, they've got all the parties taking up their weekends, whereas they might have went to the gym on a Saturday, now they're having to do like all the party runs and stuff. So that might be another thing that's kind of not getting in the way, because I'm not going to say your kids are getting in the way of your progress, but you know what I mean. Something else that might just hold you back. So whilst work continues to get busier, it's harder to find time in for training, having energy to do it around work. Definitely, like that's what I was saying there. Some people start winding down for work, and then some people get even busier at work, and it can be tricky to fit things in. So Sophie, what's your thought? Like try to fit workouts in, because you're on you've got 3 workouts in your program. So do you think it's kind of tricky to fit that in as work gets on, because you're going to be tired, like doing your night shifts and stuff as well, aren't you?
I think it works out fine around the night shifts. Like this week's probably the hardest week because of the night shifts, but I should be fine. It's just about prioritising things, isn't it? And just saying, if I just go and do it, I'll feel better. And I don't know, it's hard because the shifts are so long, but it's just knowing that going and training for an hour out of your day is worth it, and it does work. And just keeping that in mind when you just want to lie in bed all day because you've been up all night, but you just think it'll make you feel better, and you do still continue to get results if you do that. And I think if I ever stop doing the training 3 times a week, I think I would just be like, okay, that's me done. Like, I'm one of these people, if I don't stay on the routine, then that's me. I'm so thrown off.
Yeah, totally. And because you've seen so much progress as well, it's almost like you don't want to stop seeing that progress, isn't it? You just want to keep doing what you're doing to keep getting good results. And that's a good thing that'll keep you going this month as well, I think, because you have because you've put in so much work already, and you're already seeing the benefits of your hard work, you keep that going. Whereas for people who get to this time of year and they've not really achieved much, or maybe they've not even really done anything, and they're like, well, there's no point keeping going, and then that's when they just think, fuck it, and they just go off the rails. So at least for yourself, like you know that what you're doing is keep going.
And I've got a party dress to get into, so I just need to do that.
That's it.
I've got a month to get in that dress. So
that'll keep you motivated.
going.
Definitely. And then Angela, so you've said you're working up till Christmas and all the Christmas tasks, so no time to train. So is that like Christmas shopping and all the rest of it, all these things?
Yeah, just like everything with like kids, train, and then working, and then trying to buy presents, and like having all the stress. Like there's just stress for Christmas, isn't there? And it's just like another thing you've got to fit in your life.
Definitely.
And then at the same time, you're then sort of going, oh, I've got to go to the gym, and for me too, I guess, because I'm like in Shetland this week and then back home next week, and it's all just a bit like you're trying to fit everything in. So yeah, I've been quite good though so far, but it's snowing tonight, so that's another challenge. You can't get out the snow.
Is it proper snowing?
Proper snowing and proper cold.
Oh my God, no way. Can you put a picture in the Facebook group? Let's see the snow. Oh my God, is it lying?
It's like, it was earlier, yeah. And it was like, I went out just to do my steps because I thought, oh, I can't go running in that. And then it was so cold. It was like proper skiing cold where you're just like wrapping your scarf around your face going, oh my God, it's actually freezing.
Oh no, I can't be
Arctic,
doing that. No.
Arctic winds.
Good on you for going out there and giving that a go. That must have been brutal. So are you in Shetland this week?
Yeah, back Friday, so that'll be a bit more back to normality then.
So has it been easier to
So
train
hoping
in
next
Shetland?
week when I'm back. Well, kind of, because I don't have my kids, so I don't have that routine.
That's again,
but not so easy when just I basically work longer, so
right, okay,
and it's harder to fit it in, and yeah.
So how'll it be next week when you're at home? Excuse me, sorry.
I think it should be easier. Hopefully, if I coordinate like stuff with people's, it's just there's more on and stuff, isn't there? There's like kids things. You've got like they've got more things on at this time of year too. So
yeah, totally.
Should get a few in though, hopefully.
But remember, if you need it, like I've said to a couple other guys that have got crazy work schedules coming up to Christmas, so I've literally given them 10-minute Tabata workouts to do, so that as soon as they've got a free 10 minutes, like because they literally have no time to do anything, like their schedules are mental. So that's literally like their training programs have been totally reduced down, but it's because the workout makes them feel like they're still doing something. So they're not feeling like, oh fuck, I've not done any workouts for like 2 weeks, oh my God, and everything's went to shit. But when really what they can actually do is get a wee break for their desk for 10 minutes, get moving for 10 minutes, work up a decent enough sweat as well, because Tabata is quite intense, so they're still working to a decent enough intensity, although it's really, really short and really, really reduced. And it might not actually be in line with what their goals. It's not going to like push them any further forward, but it means that they're not going to actually be held back. They're not going to regress. They're not going to be sitting for 8 hours and absolutely doing nothing. So they're getting some walks in, and the workouts are totally reduced. So if you do need that, then you can let me know and I can change up your workouts and training hours. That's no bother, and just give you even reduced things that you can do at home, or like wee short workouts, like wee bursts, and that's absolutely fine, because you've just got to do what you've got to do now. It's a short term. But I think for people, it just makes them feel a bit better to do something rather than just do nothing. And it's achievable, and it can keep them going a wee bit.
I was pacing my room last night. To get my usual pacing off room, or step in a step.
I love it. The carpet will be getting worn down there. Oh, what you like, Annie?
Well, it was really squeaky on the floorboards, and I was like saying to my housemate, going, I hope I didn't wake you last night, because I was like pacing around the room, and she's like, no, that's weird.
Oh, that's so funny.
I think it should be on the bingo card for the next bingo card. It's like, how many random activities do you do to get your steps in?
Go put that one. How many laps can you do in your living room? And then Megan, we've got you on. You're cheating this month like any other month, and I know you're doing that because you've had your Christmas. You had it when Darryl was over. You're over it. You've been there and done it with Christmas, and you're
pretty much. Yeah, Christmas is done for me, and I'm working. Christmas is done for me, and I'm working 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So yeah, it's just another month to me.
Yeah, it's just another month for you. You'll be in the gym in Christmas.
Yep.
Okay.
I might. Probably will be, to be fair. Like, probably will be.
Totally. So this is going to be like the most successful Christmas.
I'm going to smash December.
You're absolutely shredded by then. That's absolutely class. Nice one, guys. Well, it's good. It's good for me to be able to see like wee things like that as well, because it does come up a lot of the time with other people, and I think it makes everyone feel a bit better that other people have got all the crazy commitments going on and all that kind of thing. And of course, it's tougher, but there is always something to be done. Whether you have to, reduce some things, like I said to Angela there about reducing the workouts, or you need to change your workouts from the gym to home because you just can't get to the gym. Where you need to prioritise just going for walks more because it's more accessible for you to go for a walk than to get a workout in, and it makes you feel better to go for a walk and get a workout in. There's loads of things that can be done. You just need to let me know when you need help as well. That's always really important, but it's definitely achievable. So let's jump back on here. So the next one, managing expectations. So that was just what I touched on there about, excuse me again, sorry. So that's just talking about if you are having to reduce things. So for the sake of the guys who have had to give the Tabata workouts to, some of them have got fat loss goals, some of them have got more body composition goals. So they've maybe already been on a fat loss phase, and now we're looking at developing certain muscle groups. Maybe they're trying to build up the bum a little bit, they're trying to build up their shoulders or change their figure a little bit. So for them, for fat loss, it's absolutely fine to do something like that. It's probably more manageable in line with their goals to do short, sharp workouts. That's absolutely cool. Whereas if you've got someone who is training 5 times a week, they've maybe got 3 leg days, 2 upper body days, they've got a specific split, they're trying to do a specific amount of volume, and there's a lot more technical stuff involved in their workouts, then these short Tabata workouts aren't going to give them a juicy bum. They're not going to develop their glutes. They're not going to be defining their quads or their arms at all. It's if they're trying to develop some triceps and things, it's not going to be very good for that, but it's better than them doing nothing. But what they need to do is manage their expectations. So they want to be continuing to develop their glutes, doing their hip thrust 3 times a week and all the rest of it. But in reality, they simply haven't got the time. So what they need to do is say, right, this month, I'm not going to be any further closer towards my goal, but by doing my work with my like 5 Tabatas a week or whatever it is that they're doing, I can prevent myself from getting further away from my goal. I can keep myself moving, keep myself motivated, feeling physically fit as well. That's another important one. And just general well-being, like their mental well-being is going to feel better because they're not going to feel guilty because they're not doing workouts. They're going to get their endorphins. It's going to keep them feeling perky and boosted, especially during a stressful time like Christmas. So there's so many things that they can still benefit from just moving and doing like workouts, but they know what not to expect from themselves, to think, right, okay, well, this month is just going to be more of a maintenance month. I'm just kind of going to hang in there. I'm not going to see my physique change too much, which is what I want to happen. But realistically, it can't happen because there's just far too much on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and look after myself as much as possible. If you are in a fat loss phase, you might want to be losing, say you've been on a steady decline, you've been losing like £1 to £2 every week. And now you're like, do you know what, I'm probably going to plateau a wee bit because my calories are going to be up. I'm probably not going to be walking as much because I've got a lot more going on, and I might not be training as intensely because I'm kind of burst from all my nights out and things like that. So what you want to achieve is still seeing that £1 to £2 weight loss every week, but really what's going to happen is you might see £1 every other week. You might only lose like £2 or something in December. You might not lose anything. It might be a maintenance month, which is absolutely fine as well. But it's managing your expectations, not putting too much pressure on yourself if you can't, because if you have got loads of stuff going on and you're like, do you know what, I'm actually not going to see much difference this month, but what I can do is maintain what I've been doing. I've spent months building up lots of good habits and doing all the bits, getting my walks in every day. If you can still do that, class. If you can still monitor your calories or try and be mindful as much as you can, rather than just ripping the arse out of it and just being like eating anything and whatever you want and be like, oh, why have I put weight on this month, or why has this been a really shit month, when really you can manage it a lot more realistically. Or there is the other option where you just say, fuck it, I actually don't care this month, And that's fine if you could admit that, and if you can sit with the knowledge that you're not going to get anything out of this month. If anything, you might gain some extra weight and stuff like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it means that come January, you need to get stuck back in again and just get right back into it and no more excuses. So have a think about your expectations, because I've spoke to a lot of people about it already anyway. But if anyone is saying to me, no, I'm going to be on track this month, I have it written down after chatting to everyone. I know what everyone's up to. So I know if there's people that said to me, no, Pete, I don't want you to up my calories this month, I'm going to stay in my deficit, I'll have my Christmas and enjoy it and all the rest of it, but all through this month I'm going to stay on track. And then if it gets to the end of December and they're like, I have fucked it royally, I've actually not done anything that was on my trainer eyes, I've not ticked any boxes, I've not done any really any workouts and blah blah blah, like obviously that's just, that happens and that's fine. But if people have said to me that they want to have a certain outcome by the end of the month, then we want you to be seeing that. But if you've maybe set the bar too high for yourself, then you might need to manage your expectations a wee bit differently, so you're not getting demotivated and feel like you've let yourself down and all the rest of it. You want to enjoy this month and not feel like, oh God, I really should be doing this, I really should be doing that. When if you've said, look, I'm just going to take the foot off the gas a wee bit this month, maybe see it as more of a maintenance month, and that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, but just be honest with yourself and manage your expectations, what you want to achieve versus what you actually can do, without absolutely burning yourself out or going the opposite way and not doing anything. Alrighty. And that just brings us to this one, thinking about giving up, how will that impact your progress so far? So like you three guys that I'm talking to just now, that are on the call, you have done amazing. Like you three have seen so much progress, whether it's been, you know, Sophie, who's been fairly new to the programme. Megan, you've been training me for a long time and you've been doing a lot of strength work and stuff this year, building up your strength and fitness. And Angela, so have you, you've been kind of on a fat loss phase and you've also been building up some strength as well and just kind of shaking up your gym routine. So you guys have done amazing with your progress. So if you were to think about it just now, imagine if you just absolutely pied this month and went off the rails, how would you feel about it? Would you feel quite sluggish? Would you feel demotivated coming into January going, oh God, I feel like I'm back at square one? You won't be back at square one at all. That's not how it works. It just feels like it for the first few workouts, but once you're back in it, you're back in it and it's fine. But if you were to go through this full month and not really have anything to show for it, how would you feel about that? Would you feel a bit demotivated, a bit let down in yourself? Because like me and Sophie, like Sophie was saying there, because she's seen all that progress coming on the past few weeks and stuff, it's going to keep her going through this month. So if anybody's watching this back as well, if you're thinking about giving up and just saying, sack it, I can't, I'm just not going to do it in this month, how much progress have you made so far? And how will you feel about, you know, setting yourself back a little bit? Because if you have been absolutely smashing it lately, or even just practicing really good habits and stuff, you know, there's no point doing all that and then just chucking it out the window just because it's December. You don't need to do that. You can still keep it going. And then, like I said a minute ago about your overall well-being, what can you actually do to keep you feeling good? Because if you can't be managing all the workouts, can you still get a wee something done every day? Could you even do some home workouts, like follow something along on YouTube? Could you do like a wee dance class? Could you go and try a different fitness class? Just do something a little bit different that's going to keep you feeling good. Even if it's just going for a walk, is it going to make you feel better to get some fresh air, to get out of your work environment, maybe get a wee breather from there? Is it going to make you feel better to have a change of scenery? Sorry. Is it good to get a wee bit of time to yourself? Because it is a very sociable month. There is a lot of pressure to do things and see people. So is it maybe nice for you to go to the gym, stick your earphones in and get a bit of peace and quiet and just do your own thing and have a wee escape? Because it can be quite a stressful time for us all and it can be a bit overwhelming. So make sure you are looking after yourself that way as well and taking a bit of time for yourself as much as you can, with all the other commitments and stuff going on, because it can be quite tough and there is a lot of expectation on us to do everything and see everyone. And like some of the mums and stuff telling me like all the things that they've, because there is so much going on now, because there has been stuff we've been missing out. We feel like we need to do everything and you can't miss anything. You need to go and do the Elfin Grove and you need to do Winter Wonderland in Edinburgh, or not Wonderland, the Christmas markets and all that kind of thing. well, hopefully not Winter Wonderland, because I think that's where the booze is in London, taking their kids down there, but you know what I mean. So I feel like you've got to do all the things, and it can be quite stressful. But yeah, if you have a wee think about that, if you ever have a day and you're struggling, if you're up against it and you think, God, what should I actually do? You can go back to one of the other trainings, and I don't know if it's probably, I think it was a post I did on Instagram a while ago. I'll probably redo it, but it was like the wee kind of tier system of priorities. So what is your priority just now? If it was a kind of physique target you had, your workouts would be your top priority. Your training program would be to your top priority. Any fitness classes, cardio stuff might be next. In your diet as well. So if there's something that's got to give, have a look at your wee system and see what should I be prioritising. Like the one I was saying, if you can't get your workouts done, can you squeeze some wee Tabata workouts in? If you can't even bring yourself to do that, can you go for a walk? You know, go through them and see what can still be done. If it's your diet, if you're really struggling to get your protein in, can you still hit your calories? If you're really struggling with your calories, can you still get at least five portions of fruit and veg in a day? Can you still be quite mindful of what you're eating? Can you still make sure you're prioritising health over anything else? And just go through your wee checklist. And then obviously come Christmas Day, you just ignore it all and do whatever you want, because that's what Christmas is all about when it comes to it. So that was pretty much our training for today. I've just got some wee other things to run through. So we've got our last call of 2022, so that will be in 2 weeks' time, Monday the 19th. So there'll be no call next week, it'll be the week after. That'll be, so that's back on a Monday again, and that one we're going to go over goal setting. So I've got some wee goal setting forms and stuff for you to do, so that I can get your programmes set up for the new year, so that you're ready to crack on as of January. And that'll be pretty much going through your goal setting and stuff, so that's what that call will be. So it'll be a really good one if you can make it. The buddy sessions offer still running, so if anybody's got any piles of that you want to jump in with a wee session for you, please get booked in. And then the last one, so going into the new year, I'm going to be doing more Pilates stuff. So I've just ordered, I've got them here actually, some wee gift vouchers. So if anyone is looking for a wee something to get someone, this is one-to-one Pilates, so it's not like a class. I've got some wee vouchers here, just like that wee logo there. So if anybody wants some, or you want to treat yourself, then I've got them. You just give them a wee shout and I can bring them in for you. But that is pretty much us for tonight. How are we feeling after that? I know I just spoke rapid for about 5 minutes there without coming up for air. Are we all good?
Good.
Yeah. Are we all feeling motivated after that? Or are we feeling really hungry and want to just get pissed on Baileys?
Well, really motivated. It is good just to kind of all come together and just get someone to say, right, you can do this. And it's not really bad during Christmas.
Exactly, that's it. And that's what like the app and stuff is for. If there's anything you're struggling with, you just give me a shout with it and say, this is too much, what can I do instead? Like, that's always what I'm here for. Don't feel like it's all too much for you. If you feel like you need your programme to be calmed down a little bit, like there's always stuff that can be done. Don't ever feel like you can't do anything. There's always something that can either make you feel better or can just like get you moving. There's always alternatives to that. That sound cool?
Yep.
Yeah. We're ready for
Need to go and eat some food.
Who's all secretly had me on mute and been watching that telly? That's all right. I would take it personally.
I want a shot of Megan's fluffy jumper. I think. Or fluffy.
I know.
That's
it's the best. It's so good.
Is that a blanket or a jumper?
No, it's like one of the big hoodie things.
Oh, that's a belter.
It has a hood as well.
Does it? Oh,
just want to cozy down in that.
It's amazing.
That's lovely. I know.
This is what you need for the gym, Fiona.
That was what?
This is what you need for the gym.
It is, I know. I feel like that's what everybody needs for the gym, even you lot coming in. It's so bloody cold now.
Next session, if I come in wearing this.
That's absolutely fine. I'll get a communal one, so as soon as you come in, you just stick a jumper on you. The communal jumper. Amazing, guys. Now, thanks so much for jumping on tonight. I won't keep you much longer. if you not want to get back to your programmes. But thanks very much for joining me. The recording will be on the Facebook group if you ever need to watch it back or remember anything that I've rambled on about. But yeah, I hope you found that quite useful, and I appreciate everyone jumping on tonight.
Thank you.
Nice one, guys. Right.
Thank
Take care.
you.
Enjoy the rest of your night.
See you
Bye.
soon.